Look what you get. Automatic transmission, power steering, power brakes, V6 engine, and white wall tires. Only $188 a month and not $1 down payment. Or buy it outright for only $88.88. Unbelievable? Believe it from Motor Twins Ford in Kingston and Wilkes-Barre.
I've been seeing another fish.
Can we talk about it?
Tender, golden, very warm.
McDonald's filling a fish a taste, tempting dish. Go on.
I needed a change of pace.
Would you like to find a lot of fish in the sea? With just one taste and you'll agree. It's a good time. Men. For a great taste of McDonald's.
Hi, I'm Bob WOF from Sullivan County. Join me tonight on Wheel of Fortune.
Look at this studio, filled with glamorous prizes, fabulous and exciting merchandise, including the first-class performance of this $31,000 Corvette. Something to remember, this dazzling $10,000 multi-stone diamond ring. And perfected year after year, this racy $15,000 Cutlass Supreme. Over $115,000 just waiting to be won on Wheel of Fortune. And now, here's your host, Pat Sajak.
Hi, Zach. Thank you, everybody. Glad you could be with us here. Another edition of Wheel of Fortune. And guess who else is here? Why, it's our hostess. Please welcome her. Here's Vanna White. Vanna. Hiya. Well, Bob and Katie and Mike have joined us here. This is Bob WOF. How are you, sir?
Fine, how are you?
I'm fine. Lopez, Pennsylvania, they tell me you're from. You come out here just to play our game, or are you making a vacation out of it?
Yeah, the whole works.
Good idea. You're a bartender back there, or do you own the place?
Yes, both.
Good. One child you have?
Son Michael.
Big guy?
Mm-hmm. Pretty good size, 16.
They get big at that age.
Yeah.
Enjoy football and game shows, it
Right.
says you do. Good luck to you, Bob.
Thank you.
Here's Katie Morris. Katie, it says here you're a clerk. Is that true?
That's true.
What kind of business do you clerk for?
I work for a warehouse.
Oh, gotcha. Married lady?
Yes.
For a long time?
2 years.
That's getting on there. Enjoys water skiing, snow skiing, and swimming, it says. Anything you'd like to add to that list?
That's about it. Keep me busy.
Then we'll move on to Mike. Mike McCauley, sales rep for a major distributor, it says here. Mike,
Right.
rather mysteriously. What do you like to do in your off hours?
Oh, I like to listen to music, read, keep myself busy with some sports.
And you have you collect hats.
Collect all kinds of hats.
Why do you do that? I mean, it's a fine hobby.
Saves time combing my hair.
I had to ask. All right. Play our game. $1,000, top dollar value for this round. Try not to hit bankrupt. If you do, you lose your cash but not your merchandise, because once you buy a prize, it's yours to keep. Our first puzzle is a phrase. And just before the show, we drew numbers to see who would start things off. And Bob, it's going to be you. Good luck, everybody. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. 1,000. I'd like an end.
You'd like an end, but I don't think there is one up there. Sorry, Katie.
May I have an S?
There is one S. You have $400. $200.
May I have an R, please?
I think so, yep. There are several hours. 3 of them. You're up to $1,000.
Alex, man.
$750.
May I have a T?
4 T's. That'll make a difference in your score. You have $4,000, Katie.
Okay, I'd like to buy a vowel.
All right.
I'd like to buy an E.
There are 3 of them. You have a lot of money left.
Okay, I'd like to buy another vowel.
Good idea.
I'd like to buy an A.
There is one A. Okay.
Okay, I'll spin.
Right. Katie, I am sorry. You have lots of time to get that money back, though.
Come on, Bob.
Mike? $250.
I'd like an H, please.
Two of them. That's $500 for you.
Then spin.
Right.
Please.
You'd like a P, and there is no P. I'm sorry, but Bob, it's your turn.
Okay. 1,000.
$400.
I'd like a D.
That we can arrange. There are three of them. That's $1,200 for you.
I'm going to spin.
Okay, good luck.
Go. 1,000. 1,000. Goodbye to go.
Let's get two anyway, huh? Not quite. 150.
Give me a J.
Sure, there it is. How are you going to continue? You have 1,350.
Spinning.
All right.
1,000.
Is it a free spin? Yeah, it sure is. That can be very handy. Hang on to that. Are you going to spin again?
I'm going to spin. 1,000. Come on. 1,000. Easy.
You might do it. I don't know. What do you think? He did.
I would like a W.
Is it a W? Why, sure. $2,360. Bob, another decision to make.
I'm going to solve it.
All right, for that money, what's this phrase?
Just what the doctor ordered.
You said it. Okay. Spoken like a trooper. There you go. Just what the doctor ordered. $2,350 to the dining room we go. What do we have?
I want the trip to Toronto.
How much is
Oh,
it?
I'm sorry. $2,024, the trip to Toronto.
Apologies not necessary. $326 left.
$300, I'll take the chandelier.
That goes to you. $26 will go either on a gift certificate or on account. How would you like it?
The gift certificate.
Okay. Jack, can you hear us clearly?
Just barely, Pat. Bob, let's look at these two nice prizes. First of all, Progress Lighting's elegant chandelier, fine antique detailing, polished brass, and hand-blown glass shades gracefully accent the cherry wood finish. It's from Progress Lighting, $300. And then we'll fly you and a guest from Los Angeles to Toronto in Ontario, Canada. Now, that's for a 6-day, 5-night stay at the Viscount Hotel, located near downtown Metro Zoo Financial and Cultural Centers, offering special services, luxury accommodations, and fine dining from Viscount Hotels. Retail value $2,024. All right.
Happy?
Oh, yeah.
Good. We'll take a break. Be back with round two in just a minute. Hurry on back, won't you? This way.
Yesterday's silversmith. He was a master craftsman, careful, skillful, proud of his work. So proud, he put his mark on everything he made. At First Eastern, we put that same kind of skill, that same care into our work since 1863, and we've left our mark on banking. It's a mark we're proud of, the mark of First Eastern.
There where you need us, First Eastern Bank.
Round two, we have $1,000 space on the wheel still, and something which says watch. I believe that's for the wrist. Correct, Jack?
It is, Pat, and it's beautiful. It's a man's gold and diamond dress watch for the gentleman who appreciates tasteful elegance. This Concord watch incorporates fine and performance, easy for me, with beauty and style. It's from Van Cleef & Arpels, $7,990, Pat.
Okay. Hey, the best of them do that from time to time. Players land on a special prize to go into your bank, and if you solve the puzzle, that will become yours, and that's almost $8,000 worth of watch. That can be very important in determining an eventual winner here. This time we're looking for a thing. That's our category, and Katie, you're going to start. Come on.
Come on, Katie.
$400.
May I have a T?
No, no T. Mike.
All right, let's go. Here's the watch. Watch your 1,000. Watch your 1,000. Come on.
300.
Can I have a D, please?
Mm-hmm. 2 Ds. $600 start. Mike?
I'd like to spin, please.
Sure. 600.
I have an L, please.
No, there's no L. Bob, we go to you.
Okay, I'm spin. 1,000.
What do you think, Bob? I got you there. You going to say that free spin? Okay, Katie, go ahead.
May I have an S?
No, sorry, no S either, Mike.
Go on now. Let's go. Keep it going. Keep it going. Slow down. Right there. Stop. Good. Can I have an R, please?
Yes, sir. 1 R. You're up to $1,500, Mike.
I'd like to buy a vowel, please.
Okay.
I'd like to buy an E.
E, I think we can arrange that. 1 E. 1250 is what you have now.
I'm going to spin, please.
$300.
I'll have a P, please.
You sure will. 1 P. All right. $1,550. What's it going to be now, Mike?
I'm going to spin, please.
Okay. Good luck. $550.
I'd like an N, please.
1 N. Are you going to continue? You have 2,100.
I'm going to spin, Pat.
Okay. $600.
I'd like a C, Pat.
There may very well be one, yes. Now you have $2,700.
Pat, I'm going to solve the puzzle.
Please do.
We're talking
Start again.
rice pudding.
Okay, good. Rice pudding. Okay. I think you're one of the finest wheel spinners we've had on the show, although we do not charge per revolution here, you know. $2,700, home office library, go ahead and spin.
Okay. For $719, I need a sleeper sofa for my new apartment.
Well, how fortuitous, we have one available.
That's
You have
fantastic.
1981 left.
And for $380, I need a new color portable TV.
Jack will handle that. You have
Okay.
1601 left.
Okay. For $449, I could use an electric typewriter.
This is working out just fine for you, huh? 1152 to go.
For
Guess you need nothing else, huh?
well, yeah, I need a lot. For $950, I'm gonna take the brass desk, please.
Okay, that's yours. That leaves 202.
For $190, I'm gonna take the floor lamp.
All right, that goes to you. We'll put $12 each on a gift certificate on account.
Gift certificate, please, Pat.
Fine choice. Jack Clark will do it to it. Here we go.
He will indeed, Pat. Well, Mike, first of all, we have a self-attached square table. It adds a convenience to this wood floor lamp with country tavern finish and beige linen pleated shade. It's $190. And next, this 9-inch diagonal color TV is great for room-to-room relocation. It's lightweight with drop-down handle and earphone for private listening, $380. Then, Swintex Collegiate, today's electronic typing features in a new lightweight portable designed for typists on the go. The Collegiate electronic typewriter from Swintex, $449. Next, the Lazy Boy Signature 2 Sleep Sofa. It has a wide variety of fabrics that are suitable for any decor. Enjoy elegance by day and comfort by night, thanks to Lazy Boy, $719. And finally, this contemporary Wesley Allen pure brass desk with glass top may enhance any office or home from Wesley Allen, $950.
Okay, congratulations on all that. Great. When you consider the fact that we have a $5,000 space in the wheel for round 3, it's easy to figure you are all still in this thing, and we'll see what happens right after this word.
Folks here wake to the aroma of sweet rolls while they savor their favorite coffee. But this morning, they discovered something new about Maxwell House Instant Coffee. A richer aroma and even more rich taste.
That's good coffee.
New richer Maxwell House Instant. Savor the richer aroma. Taste a great new Maxwell House.
It could be anything but Maxwell House.
Please, stop. Nothing is going to ruin this wedding. So if it takes all night, I personally will drive each of you home in my car. My Subaru.
Drive a Subaru with on-demand four-wheel drive, and don't let the weather spoil a good time.
You've got a friend at your nearby Pennsylvania Subaru dealer.
Follow the sun to Bonanza's Path to Paradise sweepstakes and win a trip for two to exotic Hawaii, glittering Las Vegas, or enchanting Disneyland. Just register to win at your local Bonanza family restaurant, home of the Fresh-Tastics Food Bar. Delicious steak dinners like this ribeye dinner, including potato and Fresh-Tastics Food Bar, only $4.49. Plus other menus for the entire family, including chicken and seafood. So follow the sun to Bonanza family restaurant and the Path to Paradise sweepstakes.
There's something new in this package. A perfectly baked Chef Pierre pie that you just warm in your oven or microwave. Imagine the glorious taste of a pie this fruity, this juicy, this tempting. A pie that's ready in minutes and perfect every time. Try all the new baked perfect pies from Chef Pierre. They come in the flavors you love best, even pumpkin. And they're waiting for you in your grocer's freezer now.
Third round, let's not dally. I hope that's not the puzzle. No, $5,000 is this money we have out there on the wheel. Phrase is the category, and Mike's going to be the first player.
All right, 5,000. Start out right, 5,000. Keep moving. Keep going, keep going. Keep going. All right. You start with 550. Slow down.
How about 300?
300 is going to do it. Could I have an N, please?
There is one N and way down there. Okay.
Okay, let's spin. 5,000, come on. Come on. Nope, stay away from losing turn. Slow down, slow down, slow down.
200.
Can I have an F, please?
There is no F at all. Bob.
Okay. 5,000. Come on. Draw 5,000.
350.
I'd like a T.
Well, I have good news for you. There are 5 T's up there. 1750, that'll get you. Bob?
I'm going to spin.
All right, go ahead. $300.
I'd like an H.
There are 2 of them. Another $600. Okay.
I'm going to spin.
All right. $400.
I'd like an M.
M, huh? Let's see. There is one M. $27.50 you have. Quickly.
I'm going to spin.
Okay. Go ahead.
Come on, 5,000. Come on, 5,000.
200.
I'd like a W.
There is a W, yep. Getting close to $3,000 now.
I'm going to spin.
Do it.
All right, come on, 5,000. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Darn close, though.
I've been playing around with this long enough. I would like a L.
Yeah, there are 2 L's. You have now $3,950.
I'm going to solve this.
All right, go right ahead.
At the tone, the time will be.
Sure will, yes. Enough. You better believe it. At the tone, the time will be. Poor lady sits there 24 hours a day and says that. Almost $4,000, the pool room. Let's go.
For 2782, the Hawaii trip.
I just knew that was going to go first, and you have over $1,100 remaining.
Okay, $1,100.
$1,168.
Let's see.
Got to pick something.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Well, I knew you knew.
For 495, I would like the portable electric keyboard.
Okay, that will take you down to 673.
All right. For
$600, I'll take the rocker recliner.
$73 on the gift certificate.
Yes.
And Jack Clark will tell you all the good news about those prizes. Here he comes now.
Indeed, Pat. Bob, first of all, the PCS 500 Play Card Portable Electronic Keyboard from Yamaha can make you a musician on the first day. Perform your favorite music with the Play Card system from Yamaha, $495. Then one of the most comfortable seats in the house, the spoiler recliner with loose three-tiered back, plush padded arms, and deep seat cushion. Action recliner from Action Industries Incorporated, $600. And finally, we'll fly you and a guest from Los Angeles to Hawaii, where you'll spend 6 nights and 7 days at Great American Hotel's fabulous Royal Sea Cliff Resort. While there, you'll enjoy a fun-filled dinner cruise and tour to the volcanoes, courtesy of Hawaii's famous Kama'aina Visitors Club. And you'll fly via Western Airlines wide-body jet from Los Angeles to Hawaii. You can count on Western for warm hospitality and friendly service in flight from Western Airlines. A total retail value, $2,782.
Congratulations, Bob. Thanks for all those prizes, the trip and all that stuff. Katie, you got wiped out in the first round on a bankrupt, never were able to bounce back, but we have some nice party gifts for you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Al. It was nice meeting you. Mike, all right, $2,700 in prizes, and no hats, though, but you did your best. Bob, $6,300. We'll take that.
Yeah, that's all right. That's
all right.
okay.
Bonus round coming up. You're a big winner. We'll be right back.
Discover skiing at Jack Frost Mountain and Big Boulder in the Poconos. The excitement, the challenge, the fun. The Big 2 offers the perfect way to learn with a first day on skis package, including rental equipment, an hour-and-a-half ski school lesson, and beginner lift ticket from $20. The Big 2 also specialize in children's programs with free child care daily. Night skiing is available at Big Boulder every night till 10. Ski both areas for the price of one. Discover skiing today at the Big 2 in the Poconos, less than an hour away.
30 years. I remember my wedding day as if it were yesterday. It was so beautiful. Janetti's made sure of that.
Mom was always telling me how beautiful her wedding was. It was like we knew all along that my wedding would be at Janetti's, too. It really was one of the best times of my life.
Mommy, when I get married, can I have a Janetti wedding?
This is Nadine. We'd like to show you how she can stand out by using her personally chosen colors. Starting with good skin care brings out natural beauty in Nadine's complexion. Then, by careful analysis, we discover her most becoming colors. By coordinating makeup and fashion, Nadine can create a total look that is her own. She has made the transformation from a nice look to a great look through color analysis and proper cosmetic application. Call Shades of Beauty Color Consultants for an appointment today.
Eat too much. Drink too much. Take Briosky. It's best for you.
Aspirin-free Briosky.
You know, before the show, I'll talk to members of the staff. They'll tell me a little bit about the players, and somebody mentioned Bob's kind of a quiet sort of guy. I don't know what Bob they were talking to.
I don't either.
All right, you have $6,300 in prizes. What are you going to play for in the bonus round?
Guess what? The Corvette.
He'll become even less quiet if he wins it. Jack.
I have a feeling you're right, Pat. Well, Bob, you're going to be trying for Chevrolet's Corvette with advanced production features, aerodynamic styling, new suspension technology, and reduced body weight make the 1985 Corvette a top performer. Retail value, $31,117. Good luck.
All right, thing is the category. Love for you to get the car. You will if you can solve it. Give us 5 consonants and 1 vowel.
S.
1.
T.
2.
L.
3.
N.
4.
R.
5. And your vowel.
The infamous E.
As we like to call it. And now we'll see how well these choices serve you. Audience, please, no help playing for the beautiful car and over $37,000 in prizes. That's it, huh? All right, talk it out. It's a thing. You have 15 seconds. Good luck.
Potbelly stove.
You said it. In my contract, my contract, no hugging bartenders. It's in my contract. Hey, congratulations. Potbelly stove, $37,000. Boy, $13,000. Get in there. Wait, that's right. Go ahead. Look at that.
Do you know that 80% of all dirt, dust, moisture in any building is brought in on people's footwear? Most of this can be stopped by having a fresh, clean entrance mat delivered to your door by Dempsey Textile Rental Service on a weekly basis. That's right, no hassle, no worries, no investment, no inventory. It's like having a professional cleaning service working for you 24 hours a day. Call Dempsey Textile Rental Service at 346-4668. Call Collect to start stopping dirt today.
Burglary at the Blairs the other night, and we didn't hear about it on the 11 o'clock news. We heard it on a Bearcat scanner. The Bearcat alerted us when it happened again a few doors down. Spotted the guy. Well, Martha spotted the guy. And this time, the police caught him. Neighborhood crime. You can help protect yourself.
If you know what's happening.
And one of the best ways to know is with a Bearcat scanner radio.
Now get rebates up to $35 on most Uniden Bearcat scanners.
Elmer, you're the youngest elk who's ever worked in our hollow tree.
I'm eager to learn, sir.
Taste this Keebler Townhouse cracker.
It tastes buttery.
Any idea why?
Butter?
Nope.
Just a wild guess.
Townhouse crackers get their rich, buttery taste from Elfin Magic. Elfin Magic makes everything we bake uncommonly good.
Obviously, there's more to this elf business than just being little.
Keebler makes Townhouse and all these crackers and cookies uncommonly good.
See you next time on Wheel of Fortune.
Some of our contestants, the Grenda the Original. The shoes would look as great as they feel. Choose from the rainbow of colors and styles from Grenda the Original. Take a spin through all 18 fabulous flavors of Diet Shasta now with the great taste of NutraSweet. You'll say, I want a pop, Diet Shasta. And 2,000 flushes, the automatic toilet bowl cleaner that uses chlorine bleach, the same chemical used to clean swimming pool. It works up to 4 months. And Norelco blood pressure meter, AccuCup ensures precise readings. LCD readout of blood pressure and pulse. Norelco blood pressure meter. Introducing new Vaseline lip therapy. It creates a moisture barrier that locks out wind and cold. You may never get chapped lips again. Aspercream, relief of minor arthritis pain without pills, side effects. Aspercream's non-aspirin formula penetrates relief where you hurt. The prices of the prizes were furnished to the contestants prior to the show and have been rounded off to the nearest dollar. Gift certificates do not include sales tax.
Cop and an ex-con. Now he takes on cases the police can't solve. James Garner in the Rockford Files. Tomorrow at 5, right here on WNEP TV 16.
Wheel of Fortune is produced by Merv Griffin Enterprises, distributed by King World.
Now, a Newswatch 16 News Brief, brought to you by Northeastern Bank. You can talk to us.
Good evening, I'm Karen Hart.
And I'm Nolan Johannes. A coroner's jury in Lackawanna County has recommended that a Scranton couple be charged with third-degree murder. The jury decided this afternoon that charges should be filed against Helen and Walter Pestanikas in connection with the starvation death of a Scott Township man last November. 92-year-old Joseph Cly was found dead in a rooming house owned by the couple. Witnesses said Cly was paying the couple to take care of him.
We'll have a complete report on the decision by the coroner's jury, and we'll find out what happens next tonight on the update. Now this.
You can talk to me.
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 Northeastern has certificates of deposit that give you interest plus one of these free gifts now. It's a great way to make your money work hard for you. So if you want an investment that pays off right now and later, talk to us at Northeastern.
Northeastern Bank. You can talk to us.
Tonight, a Newswatch 16 update will tell you what the experts are saying now about what happened at 3 Mile Island.
Plus, if you're in the market for a house, we'll tell you why now is the time to buy.
Meteorologist Tom Clark tells us about whether we're in for a wet weekend or not.
And Joe Zone has a story on the Lady Royals join the team tonight at 11.
It's a matter of life and death. This is Jack Klugman. Here are some scenes from the next episode of Quincy.
Doctor, I never saw a boy die on the field before. I hope I never see that again.
You may have of a cyst floating around in the middle of his skull that could kill him just like that. His father's still going to let him play. He's been knocked down 1,000 times. So has Frank. But it only took one time, didn't it? That extra one time. God.
Stay away from Steve, Doc.
Don't let him die.
Scares me the game starting.
Jack Klugman is Quincy, tomorrow at 4 on WNEP TV 16.
Hi, I'm Mel Webb with High Point Home Furnishings. I have 3 truckloads of furniture direct from the manufacturer. Original oil paintings from hundreds of professional artists around the world. Nothing over $39, most under $15. 3-piece living room, 5-piece pit, and ranch groups, your choice, $198. New mattresses, $38. New recliners, $99.
This Saturday from 11 till 8, Sunday 11 till 5 in Wilkes-Barre at the Arena Motor Inn, 500 Kidder Street and Route 115.
Like father, like son. This week on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, we'll follow co-host Joe Zone and his son to Montage, where 4-year-old Christopher will learn how to ski. It's all part of ski classes at Montage that teach even the little guys the ropes of the slopes. Plus, you'll have a front row seat at the annual Boy Scout Klondike Derby. Area scouts from the Forest Lake Council and Lenny Lenape Council will battle it out in a most unique learning sporting adventure. It's all this week on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life at 7.
Hi, I'm Marianne Colvin from Wilkes-Barre. Watch me tomorrow night on Wheel of Fortune.
Tonight's movie, Deadly Messages, will be seen in its entirety beginning approximately 30 minutes from now. Then stay tuned for 2020. This is an ABC News special, the first news conference of President Reagan's second term in office. Here now from New York, Peter Jennings.
Good evening. President Reagan, as you've heard, is about to meet formally with the White House press corps for the second news conference of 1985. It is 6 weeks since Mr. Reagan last met with the press, and the president's spokesman has affirmed to us that Mr. Reagan is going to be a good deal more available in this sort of forum than he was during his first term, and certainly than he was during the election campaign. You are looking at the East Room of the White House. There is, as always, a great deal to talk about. There are recent developments in Central America, and the president's budget is now up on Capitol Hill. There are questions to be asked about arms control and about recent developments in the Middle East. The president is going to have an opening statement on the economy and on tax reform.
Please, sit down. I have a brief statement here. The final economic figures are in for 1984, and the news is even better than anticipated. The U.S. economy grew at a rate of almost 5% at the fourth quarter, and final sales increased at a rate of 8.5%. Economic growth for calendar year 1984 measured just a shade under 7%. It was the strongest performance in a single year by the American economy since 1951. Our recovery is now well into its 27th month. It's the strongest expansion since the Korean War. And ours is a peacetime expansion rooted not in a military buildup for overseas conflict, but in a broadening prosperity when America is at peace. We intend to prolong and to protect this expansion, and we'll work with Congress for a sweeping program of tax simplification and reform, and we're convinced this historic legislation can and should be passed this year. America has rediscovered that the key to greater economic growth, opportunity, prosperity for all, is to unharness the energies of free enterprise. The American miracle of which the world now speaks is a triumph of free people in their private institutions, not government. It was individual workers, business people, entrepreneurs, not government, who created virtually every one of our 7 million new jobs over the past 2 years. But protecting recovery will require political courage. A federal government that collects nearly 20% of the gross national product in taxes must cease spending nearly 25% of the gross national product in federal programs. Our administration proposes to freeze overall federal program spending at last year's level, to cut $51 billion out of programs in need of restraint, to reduce spending by $500 billion over the next 5 years. And these proposals are rooted both in economic necessity and common sense. To cite one example, revenue sharing. It doesn't make sense for a federal government running a deficit to be borrowing money to be spent by state and local governments that are now running surpluses, thanks to our economic recovery. As for those who tell us that growth and expansion are not enough, that spending restraint is politically impossible, that higher taxes are necessary, our answer is simple. That issue was debated and decided on November 6th. We intend to proceed with the mandate that we've been given by the people. All right, Mike?
Mr. President, Budget Director David Stockman says the taxpayers of this country shouldn't be responsible for the bad debts of farmers. Do you agree with Mr. Stockman? And if you do, why use federal funds to extend emergency credits to family farmers?
I think that Mr. Stockman's made it plain that, in fact, has apologized for some of his remarks, because after 3 hours of what was an appearance before committee in which I think there was a certain amount of harassment and heckling going on, he himself has said that he got a little upset. And no, I think the farm problem is the result of things that have been done in the past. It's the result of the inflationary economy that we had for some time. There are a number of farmers now who their main problem is they borrowed on the basis of inflated land values, and then when we brought inflation down, that left them with loans, and the collateral did not have the same value. And we are making a proposal, and we'll be talking tomorrow with the congressman about a proposal for this short-term problem that will include loans and loan guarantees, some $650 million in that, and then subsequently we will be taking up proposals for hopefully getting the farm economy back into the free marketplace and government out of the agricultural business.
May I follow up, Mr. President? Do you see a contradiction between giving farmers emergency aid now while proposing to phase out price supports and crop restrictions that they've lived with for half a century?
And that's the problem. We won't pull the rug out from under anyone instantly who has geared themselves to these government programs, but the government programs didn't succeed. Many of the problems they face today are the result of government's involvement. And I think you'll find that a great majority of farmers believe that the answer to their problems is out in the free market. And then if government is to help, then we should help by opening up world markets for them, by holding trade negotiations, because much of the farming elsewhere in the world is government subsidized. And we intend to do all that we can. In fact, that was one of the things I talked to the Prime Minister about, and we're both agreed that we should be discussing in the coming months with our trading partners and friends the reopening of trade negotiations to do as much as we can to have free trade and both ways in the world at large. Helen?
President Jack Anderson said in his column today that in 1981 you passed the word to Moscow that even if the Senate ratified SALT II, you would not sign it. That in 1982, Moscow told you that they were no longer bound by the SALT II treaty, and they began to build up their arsenal over the limit. Is that true? And I'd like to follow up.
Helen, I read that myself this morning, and I went into the office and I said, where is all of this coming from? I do not remember any statement from the Soviet Union of that kind. Both countries had been, as long as it was mutual, obeying the restraints or staying within the restraints, mainly because of our efforts toward what we're now approaching arms reduction talks, that we felt that if we were going to engage in those talks, it would be far better if we did abide by an agreement that, while it had been signed, had never been ratified by our government. And I don't recall that at all. And I have to say that we know that the Soviet Union, we're sure, has violated some of the restraints now. And we know that we're coming to a point in which we have up until now been abiding by it, and as we replaced older weapons with new, we have destroyed the older ones. The Soviet Union, one of the violations of theirs has been that they were taking nuclear missile submarines out of action, but they were cutting them down and rebuilding them as cruise missiles carrying submarines.
Now, to stay with the treaties that we have negotiated, like even ABM, while the new negotiations go on?
Well, we're going to stay with the treaties that are in effect, that have been ratified and are in power. We'll have a decision several months from now to make with regard to whether we join them in violating the restraints. Andrea?
Mr. President, you have said that you would need to be convinced of shifting the tax burden from individuals to corporations, as the Treasury tax plan suggests doing. But in the State of the Union speech, you committed yourself to lowering individual tax rates to 35% or lower. Now, where would you make up that revenue if not to get it from corporations?
Well, Andrea, where we're going with reducing the rates and where we're going to achieve what we call tax neutrality, or revenue neutrality, will be in the elimination of a number of exemptions that have existed and that sometimes have, they've been unfair in the sense that some are entitled to them and others are not. When I answered that question the other day, I misunderstood. I thought they were telling me that the plan was actually going to get a great higher percentage from business. And I mentioned the fact that I did not want to do something that would interfere with our recovery or keep business from being able to expand. And then I found out that, no, there'd been a misunderstanding about that question. What we're talking about as to more revenue from business is from those elements of business that have not been paying taxes. Now, it hasn't been cheating, it's been legal, in that that's just the way some of the exemptions had worked out. And we want to change that. So there will be a reduction in rates for everyone. And where the difference will be made up is some who are not now paying taxes at all, or paying very low taxes, will be paying their fair share.
Are you saying, sir, that there would be no increase in the corporate share for those businesses that are now paying taxes, that only those corporations that are not paying their fair share would be affected? And again, how would you make up the difference, since just the things that you committed yourself to in the State of the Union would amount to $132 billion under the Treasury plan by 1990 when they are phased in?
Well, the Treasury plan as it is now, and while we're still going to have to review that plan, and there are some options in there that we may find aren't suitable to put into operation, but the plan works out to revenue neutral. And with a reduction in rates, and the business rate and the corporation rate is going to come down from 46% to 33% under that plan. Ralph?
Mr. President, this week in Vienna, American and Soviet officials held 2 days of talks on the Middle East. Apparently, they're most intensive on this issue for 7 years. Can you tell us anything about them? And also, Mr. President, do these talks fit into any other recent development, such as King Hussein's recent move and your talks with King Fahd last week?
No, Ralph, these talks were not anything, had nothing to do with negotiations or anything of that kind. We simply felt that it was time to exchange views with each other and make sure that there couldn't be any miscalculations that could lead to some kind of confrontation or problem, that we brought them up to date on our own views and what we thought, and they were talking on their own, and that's all.
Follow up, Mr. President. Is the Soviet government still pushing for a direct negotiating role in Middle East diplomacy?
I haven't had a full report enough to say whether they mentioned some specific things. They have tended to support the idea of a great international meeting. We don't favor that. We don't believe that there should be that many hands in the pot. Just as we're not envisioning any participation in negotiations. We have said we'll stand by and we'll help in any way we can, but these negotiations must be between the Arabs and the Palestinians and the Israelis. Let me come over here for a minute, do you believe Sam?
Mr. President, on Capitol Hill the other day, Secretary Schultz suggested that a goal of your policy now is to remove the Sandinista government in Nicaragua. Is that your goal?
We'll remove it in the sense of its present structure, in which it is a communist, totalitarian state. And it is not a government chosen by the people, so you wonder sometimes about those who make such claims as to its legitimacy. We believe, just as I said Saturday morning, that we have an obligation to be of help where we can to freedom fighters and lovers of freedom and democracy from Afghanistan to Nicaragua, and wherever there are people of that kind that are striving for that freedom. And we're going to try to persuade the Congress that we can legitimately go forward and hopefully go forward on a multi-year basis with the Scoop-Jackson plan for trying to bring development and help to all of Central America.
Well, sir, when you say remove it in the sense of its present structure, aren't you then saying that you advocate the overthrow of the present government of Nicaragua?
Well, what I'm saying is that this present government was one element of the revolution against Somoza. The freedom fighters are other elements of that revolution. And once victory was attained, the Sandinistas did what Castro had done prior to their time in Cuba. They ousted and managed to rid themselves of the other elements of the revolution and violated their own promise to the Organization of American States, and as a result of which they had received support from the organization, that their revolutionary goal was for democracy, free press, free speech, free labor unions and elections and so forth, and they have violated that. And the people that are fighting them, the freedom fighters opposing them, are Nicaraguan people who want the goals of the revolution restored. And we're going to try to help.
Is the answer yes, sir? Is the answer yes, then?
To what?
To the question, aren't you advocating the overthrow of the present government? If you want to substitute another form of what you say was the revolution.
Not if the present government would turn around and say, all right. If they'd say, Uncle, all right, come on back into the revolutionary government and let's straighten this out and institute the goals.
Mr. President, theologians recently criticized you for saying in defending your military budget that the scriptures are on our side. I wonder, do you think it's appropriate to use the Bible in defending a political argument?
Well, I was actually speaking to some clergymen, and I checked that with a few theologians. If it was appropriate, and well, what I meant about appropriate, was I interpreting it correctly? Was it a warning that you should be prepared and otherwise ask for peace because you were outnumbered and well, now we would say outgunned on the other side. And they seemed to think that it was perfectly fitting. Yes. It was a caution to those people in our own country who would, if given the opportunity, unilaterally disarm us.
But, and to follow up, you don't have any problem with using the Bible in the political context?
Well, I don't think I've ever used the Bible to further political ends or not, but I found that the Bible contains an answer to just about everything and every problem that confronts us, and I wonder sometimes why we don't recognize that one book could solve a lot of problems for us. Yes.
Mr. President, I'd like to come back to the problem of the farmers. You met with some state legislators today. Afterwards, they said you're not really doing enough for the farmers. In fact, you're cutting back too much too soon. You mentioned $650 million in aid. Up on Capitol Hill, they're trying to provide another $1 billion. Where does the compromise lie in your mind?
Well, I think that what we're doing can go a long way toward meeting this problem. I think we've been encouraging some of the banks, and if you've noticed lately, some of the banks themselves out in the farming area have voluntarily reduced the interest rates on some of those outstanding loans because they want to contribute and want to help. We have spent over $50 billion on agriculture in the last 3 years. We have in the budget for this year some $15 billion. And it'll be a pretty sizable amount, close to that, next year. And that is in the long-range thing of the type of permanent programs that we're trying to phase out over a period of time. But I think that we are proposing measures and guarantees of loans and so forth that will meet this present crisis. And I think, because I didn't explain that this morning in my remarks, they weren't on that subject, I think maybe they're looking at the news and they don't exactly know what we have in mind and what we're going to do.
Can I follow, sir? You own a ranch. Perhaps it's a sort of a gentleman rancher situation. I understand you don't raise cattle anymore, but you do get a tax break for one reason or another. How would you explain to the farmer in Iowa or Nebraska who can't find a break right now that kind of difference which seems to exist in the system?
The only tax break that applies to my ranch was in effect a long time before I bought the ranch. It is a law in California, and it is a law brought about in environmental interests. And that is that formerly property tax, and that's a local tax, property tax on agricultural land or just open land was based on the highest potential use of that land. And it was literally driving some farmers into sale of land, giving up farming because they could no longer afford to use as farmland or maintain as open space land that was being taxed as if it were a subdivision. And this was in place, as I say, when we bought that ranch. It is still in place. California has found that program very successful. It taxes it on that use as long as you sign a contract that you are not going to subdivide, that you are going to maintain that land, that open land. I get no income tax deductions whatsoever with regard to the ranch because the Treasury Department decided that since I couldn't be there and to run cattle or anything, that it was a hobby ranch, and I couldn't argue with them on that. Bill?
Mr. President, I wonder if we might return to Nicaragua. In answer to Sam's question, when he pressed you, you said that you seemed to be saying that you wouldn't advocate the overthrow of the government, not if the present government would turn around and say, okay, well, aren't you really saying that you want the present government out? And secondly, sir, should the United States be trying to influence the government of another nation in this hemisphere?
I think that what we're doing and what we have proposed doing is within the UN Charter and within the OAS Charter, and the right of people to do what the freedom fighters are doing. And it isn't, you can say it's like the glass half full or half empty. You can say we're trying to oust the Sandinistas by what we're saying. We're saying we're trying to give those who fought a revolution to escape a dictatorship, to have democracy, and then had it taken away from them by some of their fellow revolutionaries. We're saying we want them to have a chance to have that democracy that they fought for. And I don't think the Sandinistas have a decent leg to stand on. What they have done is totalitarian, it is brutal, cruel, and they have no argument against what the rest of the people in Nicaragua want.
Well, sir, what about the specific prohibitions by the United States Congress against the kind of conduct which would overthrow their government or provide money to do so? Referring to the Boland Amendment, sir, the specific prohibitions of the Congress.
I think that some of the proposals that have been made in Congress have lacked a complete understanding of what is at stake there and what we're trying to do. And
Mr. President, you will soon be making a decision on how to handle the March 31st expiration of Japanese auto import quotas. If Japanese auto sales do increase in this country, will you demand that the Japanese allow more American-made goods to be sold in their country?
Well, let me just say that commenting on anything of that kind, we have been in communication with the Japanese. We have discussions going forward now on open markets both way in improving the situation between our two countries. A deal of progress has been made. We've got a long way to go yet, but everything that we're going to decide is going to be in that context of the two of us as trading partners having fair trade and free trade between us.
Let me just follow up with no restraints. Your special trade representative has predicted a sales increase of 750,000 vehicles in this country. Will the benefits of that for consumers outweigh the adverse or the presumed adverse effects on the U.S. auto industry?
Well, the agreement that is being discussed is a voluntary agreement that the Japanese themselves instituted. And we've had a cabinet council that has, I know some of you got information before I did on this, that is going to be coming to me with a recommendation. They have not done so as yet, but I will hear all their arguments, and I will consider them in the context of the negotiations and the communication or discussion that is going on between us and the Japanese. Yes.
Mr. President, back, if I may, to David Stockman for a moment. Even his mother thought that his comments on farmers were a bit heartless. He managed to alienate in almost the next breath almost every veterans group in the country. Admittedly, his is kind of a thankless job, but some have suggested that you could find someone who could accomplish that job with a little less rancor. What do you think, sir?
Well, as I told you, I think he's expressed some regret, and at the same time, I know the circumstances, and at the time that he made some of those statements, and I know also that under the guise of a committee hearing, some of the harassment that he'd been subjected to, and I could understand a fellow blowing his cool. I think he feels, as we all do, and I certainly feel myself, yes, the farmers have a very real problem, and a lot of it has to do with policies that led to the runaway double-digit inflation that we had, in which their land became a haven for those who were seeking hedges against inflation. All of these, plus the government programs, have left them with a very real problem, and we're going to do our utmost to help them find a solution to it.
If I may, sir, you want Mr. Stockman to stay on the job?
Did I say yes?
Mr. President, a number of the questions have been on our economic problems abroad. The farmers' problem, part of it is, sir, that they're priced out of the market in international trade because of the overvalued dollar. I think that's part of our problem in the auto sales abroad and in this country. We're at a disadvantage because our dollar is so valuable compared to other currencies. I wonder, sir, if you have discussed this with Mr. Baker and some of your other economic advisors, and if you have studied the possibility of taking any action by this country to try to reduce the value of the dollar against other currencies, both in Europe and in Asia.
Jim, I think that the problem, I can remember when our dollar was devalued, and there weren't very many people happy about that. I think the problem of the dollar today is that our trading partners in the world have not caught up with us in economic recovery. I think they have a ways to go in changing some rigidities in their customs and their methods of doing business and in industry. And what we really need is their recovery to bring their money up in value comparable to ours. There are two sides to this problem, as we find with the trade deficit, for example, because of our inability with the price of our dollar to sell some of our goods abroad. They are too high priced. But at the same time, you turn to the other hand and see the people in this country that are benefiting by the purchase of products which are cheap by our standards, cheap in price, not quality, in our imports, and how that has managed to hold down inflation. I think if you start